Parker.
On April 24, 2000, principal photography began in Los Angeles on the MGM comedy Heartbreakers.
It was quite an undertaking, actually. You wouldn't think so for a comedy like this, but there's something about the world that takes place in that's kind of big.
This is a movie that I always felt a passion about making, and the harder it was to make it and the longer it took, the more passionate I became about making it happen.
After more than 10 years in development, the story had come a long way from Irving Ong's original concept.
Originally, it was a father and son con artist story that eventually turned into a mother and daughter con artist movie.
The script was then read by director David Mirkin,
And action.
who the producers loved for his work on The Simpsons.
You know, I used to drive him crazy quoting his lines to him, and he used to like cringe in terror when I'd come around, and you know, he knew it was quoting time.
Yes, it's lovely.
Mirkin liked Heartbreakers' unusual subject matter.
I like the idea of female con artists, of women who are basically controlling everything around them, including men. I don't know why I have a fascination with that, but I do. I don't think that you've exactly seen that. I love femme fatale type comedy, and this was a great opportunity to do two strong, sexy women as the main characters.
After Mirkin had finished his own draft of the script, the movie was ready to be cast. By this time, the producers had already considered an impressive array of stars.
Cameron Diaz was in it for a while, and Cher was in it for a while, and Alicia Silverstone was in it for a while, and Angelica Houston was in it for a while.
I mean, there was a time in this project where Meg Ryan was discussed as the daughter. I mean, that's how long this thing has been in development.
But for Mirkin, Sigourney Weaver was the first choice.
By the time the script was ready, and I was ready to go with it, there was nobody attached, and I sent it to Sigourney Weaver. And, you know, the Max character, Sigourney's character, is the linchpin of the whole story, and it had to be somebody who was sexy, strong, and twisted and dark like I am. And the great thing is that Sigourney has always been able to embrace roles like this, and she's not afraid of what people will think of her. And I was so happy that she responded to the script. And then we had a meal together, and we really hit it off very well.
Yes, you see, we are good friends. It's hard to find a good film comedy, especially where they let women be the funny ones. And I guess I always loved those old sort of caper movies, you know. Big fan of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and all. I just think audiences love sort of scam movies. There's something very appealing about Max and Paige because they're just like us. They work for a living. It just happens that what they do is completely dishonest.
It's really tough to get somebody to play Sigourney's part. They got to be beautiful.
I'm Betty.
They have to be able to be the mother of a 20-year-old daughter.
Mom still got it.
They have to be funny.
Oh my God.
That's how much I love you, baby.
You must love me a lot.
And they have to be somebody that people actually go see in a movie. So that left about one person, and that was Sigourney. Thankfully, she wanted to do the picture.
The next challenge was casting the role of Max's daughter Paige. Davis and Ong wanted Jennifer Love Hewitt for the role, even though Paige was quite different from most parts Jennifer had played before.
Could she go from being this kind of cutesy young girl to being this vivacious, you know, funny, you know, sexy woman? When we put her with Sigourney in a room and they read the part together, you started to get a sense that, you know what, she could make the transition.
No way. You couldn't have gotten him that far this fast.
It's big for her, very different, because she's normally appeared in movies where she's acting against people her own age. And suddenly, you know, she's in with the big boys and the big girls. So it was a big step for her, but she was excited to do it. She went for it.
That bartender happens to own the bar and has a firm offer to sell for $3 million.
You're not ready, Paige.
I'm a pro, Mother, and I'll prove it.
I actually worked with her for about a month on this to make sure, because it was such a difference to who she is. And it's all the more impressive because of that.
There were a lot of people that probably wouldn't have thought and will think that this is not a part I could play, and he really gave me a chance, and he's been great. I couldn't say enough nice things about him. He's great.
It was Mirkin's inspired idea to offer the role of tobacco tycoon William B. Tenzie to Gene Hackman.
They're dying.
And Gene has played a lot of like nasty, troubled people, and even in dramas, I found him very, very funny.
To me, his most memorable roles were comedic roles, Lex Luthor in Superman, or his part in Get Shorty.
Mirkin and Hackman collaborated to make Tenzie as repulsive as possible.
And I thought that it would be interesting that if he was addicted to his own product, hopelessly addicted, and he just went from one cigarette to the other, and that his teeth had gone terribly yellow. He actually, when he called me and we talked about this role to begin with, he suggested the teeth as well, and I was thinking the same exact thing. Plus, I wrote him really, really nasty and really kind of evil.
And then they come after us because we're adding more nicotine to cigarettes. I mean, nobody sued when they added more raisins to Raisin Bran.
We have a great deal of fun with it because I'm supposed to be the kind of unattractive kind of guy who does some kind of despicable things.
For the role of Dean, Mirkin cast Ray Liotta, another actor who is respected primarily for his more serious roles.
Oh my God, that's great! Congratulations! Great!
He has fantastic timing. He's very funny, just the right attitude, and all real. I mean, it's a matter of, not just a matter of being funny, but being funny in a very real, believable way.
Oh, you are one sick slut!
It was an out-and-out comedy, something that I really haven't done that much of, so I felt very fortunate when Mirkin and MGM said that, you know, they wanted me for it.
Got it.
Marker.
Honey?
Oh, nothing. Some guys offered me $3 million for the bar in the land.
And finally, Jason Lee was cast as Paige's love interest, Jack.
I wanted to have an offbeat look and feel for the one nice guy in the film. He's really the only nice guy in the whole movie. And Jason totally came in with the exact right attitude. He's fantastic with comedy. He's perfectly amused at Jennifer's character. And so it gives a great chemistry between the two of them.
I like comedy. I watch comedy. I like to be in comedies. And I really like David Mirkin, the director. I think he has a good sense of humor about him.
And Jason he can inhabit a role. It's his persona that is very, very, very strong, and he could deliver those lines in just that kind of off-kilter kind of way.
Look, I'm willing to explore the whole being dominated thing, okay? But let's just take it slow.
With the ensemble cast ready to roll, production began in Los Angeles, California.
You know, most of this movie, most of this story takes place in Palm Beach, Florida. And shooting permits there are very hard to come by. In fact, they limit filming in that city to something like 6 to 8 total filming days. So we doubled Los Angeles for Palm Beach, Florida, which was a bit tricky. It wasn't just building sets, but making real locations actually match what I think is a very unique-looking place.
It didn't take Mirkin long to gain his cast's respect and trust.
You waited till you're kind of finished with the oh, poor me before you took the stuff. Because there's a lot.
Oh yeah, let her wait here.
Let her wait there.
David's been very good about, you know, adding a line or pulling a line out of a scene so that make it work better.
Yeah, and it's a combination of head too. But you know that happens. It's kind of good. And yeah, it's always about trying to make the actors comfortable, because if they're comfortable, that's when you're going to get the best work out of them. That's my method.
And Mirkin's easygoing manner helped Jennifer Love Hewitt overcome some nerves about her unusual first scene.
Oh, congratulations, Mr. C. It was my first 2 days of work. I am attached to his crotch for a good portion of this scene.
Dean.
Because, you know, a giggly, happy girl, she wasn't as in contact with what a amazing killer sexual entity she is.
I was in a skin-tight, tiny little dress with like stockings, black lace underwear, garters, like the whole works, okay? And I have to be, hi, it's very nice to meet you, Mr. Liotta. Now I'll be attached to your crotch. Hi.
Though it's hard to believe, Jennifer feels it took some hard work to play such a sexy character.
I'm supposed to be playing somebody who is sexy. Whether I've pulled it off yet or not, the jury has not decided.
But she found a good coach in David Mirkin.
As opposed to Jennifer, I just ooze sexuality. I mean, my every move is seductive and sensuous, and I am able to teach other people how to behave in this way so that, you know, no one can resist you.
He'll start to walk like the way he wants me to walk, and I'm like, you want me to walk like that, you know? He's like, no, the better version.
And it was Mirkin's ever-present laughter that gave the entire cast confidence.
If we hear him laughing in the background, we know we're kind of on the right track.
He seems to love each of us. You know, he loves how awful we are.
It's always the actors that I'm laughing at. It's always the attitude that they bring that makes an old line new to me.
And cut. Excellent.
Sigourney Weaver feels that her performance was also enhanced by her extraordinary costumes.
I called Anne Roth and I said, I have to do this movie with you because my image for the character was Sophia Loren, who is, first of all, she's ageless. You know, there's something about her that, you know, could stand up to a 22-year-old, you know, without any problem because she's so alluring. I wanted to have that weight and I wanted to have that voluptuousness and that kind of ease.
One of the funniest scenes to be shot in Los Angeles was the hotel lobby sequence, where Jennifer Love Hewitt attempted her very first stunt.
It's all her in the movie. She does all her stunts, and when she actually falls in the lobby of the Breakers Hotel, even though that was a rubber floor that we had put in, she actually broke her finger there.
Oh my God! She's cracked her head open.
Well, actually, it swelled up and it turned kind of like this weird gray color. So some of my tripping has been taken out of the film because they realized that I'm an actual klutz and probably couldn't handle the tripping stuff.
I'm sure she'll be fine.
Jennifer's the kind of girl, you come up to her, there's blood coming out of her ears and eyes. How are you, Jennifer? I'm fine, no problem at all. As she loses consciousness.
But Jennifer had someone to watch out for her.
Sigourney she's, you know, a great on-screen mom, but she's also a great off-screen mom. She takes really, really good care of me and watches out for me, just like she does in the movies.
Meanwhile, Gene Hackman had his own physical challenges. To avoid becoming addicted to nicotine, he asked the prop department for herbal cigarettes. The only problem was that they didn't generate enough smoke.
So once in a great while, I'll smoke a real cigarette. But it's hard for me because I've never smoked, and so it's hard for me to inhale or to remember to try to inhale.
He would find ways to surprise and disgust Sigourney. Kissing her while blowing smoke out was, he pulled that on her. She had no idea that was happening.
My worry with Gene Hackman, who I worshipped, of course, was that he could not possibly be repulsive enough, you know? But I was wrong.
One of the last scenes to be filmed in Los Angeles, Weaver's Back in the USSR number, turned out to be one of the longest days on the Heartbreakers shoot.
Please get ready.
Money-wise, we could only schedule a day for that whole sequence. We shot it in a restaurant in Los Angeles that our production designer, Lily Kilvert, turned into a Russian restaurant. It was actually an Italian restaurant. But she came up with these great onion lamps and all this great Russian paraphernalia around. And I really bathed it in a lot of red light. Dean Semler, our DP, did an amazing job smoking it up and making it look really cool.
Weaver had worked on the song for weeks.
We asked a choreographer named Peggy Holmes, who had done the Michelle Pfeiffer choreography in the Fabulous Baker Boys. She was recommended by the music supervisor, Maureen Crowe, to come in and work with Sigourney. Starting from rehearsal and through the shoot, we'd work on that on the off time. So she'd be ready to shoot it come the day. It was tricky because she had to do the song in not only a Russian accent, but a bad Russian accent.
Show me around your snow-baked mountains way down south.
Every scene in there was shot in one day. So we got it all, including the big musical number. So it was a very big day.
Back in the U.S., back in the U.S., back in the USSR.
With filming in Los Angeles complete, the cast and crew relocated to Palm Beach, which had been one of the hardest locations to secure.
Palm Beach never lets anybody film. It's one of the richest communities on the face of the earth. It's a gorgeous city. I mean, the architecture there is just impeccable because there is so much money, and everywhere you look, there's really not a bad angle in the whole town.
The cast and crew were excited about getting to film at the legendary Breakers Hotel, one of the most famous and historic hotels in the United States.
The staff there was amazing. It was a scene where we had to drop a dead body, a dummy, out of a fifth-story balcony. And every time you drop it, you got to bring it back up the elevator. And I was helping out and bringing this dummy up and down. And you know, any other hotel would have thrown us out. I don't know that the guests knew exactly what was going on. So you got this guy running around with what looks like a corpse in a sheet. No questions asked, and they were very, very nice to us.
Florida also gave Sigourney Weaver the chance to try something she doesn't do in her hometown of New York City.
Now, Sigourney is a hardcore New Yorker and does not often drive and was very, very nervous. Her driver, Charlie Ramirez, and I took her out to some empty parking lots with the picture car, the Mercedes, so she could practice swerving this thing around, and she really got into it. And you realize that she has amazing driving skills.
Perfect.
As well as boat skills.
Everything that goes on when you see her driving that, but she is driving the boat. In all our marine scenes that she's in, she is actually driving the boat. She's very good at it. I guess she grew up around boats.
But shooting in Florida also brought its challenges.
It's not the best place to be in June if you're making a movie. It is hot. And at night, you find out that it's the bugs that own Florida at night in June.
And it was unbelievable. I think we went through, I don't exaggerate, 6 or more cases of like the heavy bug repellent, the Deep Woods Formula Off.
And it never goes below 90 degrees, and it's more like 100 degrees and like 80% humidity. And that's a challenge.
In spite of the heat, the cast and crew kept their spirits up.
By the time you're working day number 40, and it's, 99-degree heat and 99% humidity, the idea that you look forward to going to work, because you're going to laugh, something good's going to happen, is a blessing.
The interesting thing about comedy is that usually it's a better set, that things are a little lighter. Although you work, just as hard, if not harder, the atmosphere many times is a lot better.
But the comedy also gave the cast a chance to use their dramatic talents as well.
I'm a terrible mother.
One of the big things I did in the rewrite was to up the emotion between the mother and daughter. What was interesting to me was the way you pay for being a con artist and trying to control life and trying to control your own feelings, the way these con artists have to.
Hey, no, don't do that.
I love the fact that we have these great comic scenes, and yet there's this real story going throughout, where the women come to realize things about life and each other, and it's got a happy ending.
Paige realizes that you can be on your own and you can be an adult without having to throw your mom out of your life. And she realizes that you can be a mom without holding on to your daughter with handcuffs and a tightrope.
Oh, it's a hug. I could pull over for a hug.
And cut.
On August 1st, 2000, shooting wrapped on Heartbreakers. David Mirkin says he owes much of the film's success to his extraordinary cast.
The great thing about having actors of this caliber is they will surprise you. So it might be different than what was in your head, but it will get better.
As for the cast, they seem to be united in their mutual appreciation of each other's talents.
Jennifer is lovely. She is what her public image is, which is she's very warm, merry, you know, she laughs a lot. She's great to be on the set with because it's nice to be with people who are very upbeat, and she has tremendous energy, and I think she does a terrific job.
One of the great things about Sigourney is, like, she loves to rehearse, she loves to act. She was very free and honest about her love and joy of acting. When she does her homework and she's on it.
Ray was awesome. He'd ad-lib a little bit and call me Scooter or Skippy. Hey, how you doing, Scooter? How you doing, Skippy? He was funny as hell. I loved working with him.
The greatest thing about Jason is being able to, I know that I'll be able to say one day, God, I knew him when. You know, I think Jason is going to be, I think he's a superstar.
When it entered theaters, Heartbreakers immediately became the #1 film in America, a gratifying reward for the dedicated cast and crew.
This is a dream come true for me.
I made friendships that I think will last a lifetime.
It has been so much fun.
No one's returning my calls.
There's good times and, you know, goofing off.
I think they're just out of town. A few of them have changed their numbers.
It's been a lot of fun.
And as for their director,
I got a letter today that said I was kicked out of show business, so I'm not sure if there'll be anything else. I don't know if it looked pretty official. I'm going to have to make some calls and see.
Heartbreakers is a physical, sexy comedy.
People think of this cast as doing a lot of dramatic work.
These people who are known to be serious actors.
I have a surprise.
Yeah.
They're all brilliant comedians.
What good is to me now? He has no pipiska.
Ow!
Yeah, there were a lot of things that I had to do to Gene Hackman in this movie that you don't typically do to Gene Hackman. How long is he going to put up with this? This wasn't the best way to really begin my relationship with him. What the hell?
Oh. Oh. You have head injury.
The scene stealer. Oh, a scene stealer.
How did you throw?
You never know. Are they gonna not use their tongue? Are they going to use their tongue?
Those are not the matters the male penis ponders.
I'm usually, just off camera with a big bullhorn going, tongue, more tongue. I'm not going to use my tongue. I believe that it should be tongue. You have to keep eating mints. Altoids are flying.
Get out. Get out. You are not welcome down there.
I was a little uncomfortable. It was my first day at work when I had to be attached to Ray Liotta's crotch.
Get out. Get out.
For like 12 hours.
I swear, her hair got stuck in my zipper.
I never found it funny at all. I found it tragic and very sad that a girl would get stuck like that.
Oh, hello?
Jennifer was such a trooper on that scene because she basically had to be on her knees for about 9 hours that day. She also thought for some reason it was a good idea to bring her grandmother to the set.
Oh my God.
Thanks.
Not a good day to bring grandma to the set. She's going, I hear Jennifer, but where is she? She's under the desk.
Oh, hello?
For me, it was great.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, to have her stuck in my zipper for hours and hours on end.
Okay. He's willing to do it again and again and again. He's a good sport.
He lit one up, and he did a Beetlejuice. It was one of these. He lit one up.
He's not a smoker, but he was able to just have smoke coming out of him almost continuously.
Anytime you asked him, he would kill himself for you.
When she gives him the CPR, he should be, you know, the last puff of smoke should come out of his mouth.
She came up and she just knew how funny it was, and she just couldn't hold it together anymore.
Should I take less?
Mark?
And action.
Are you mixing medications?
Jesus.
Marker.
She burns off thousands of calories a day giggling.
We always had the giggles.
They went so quickly from kissing to just laughing.
And cut.
And you start getting really giddy.
Mark?
And she laughs like that. You can just look at her wrong and do that. And she'll go, and start laughing for 30 minutes.
It hurts me to screw around with people's feelings, doesn't it?
Not as much as this.
Oh!
In Love Hewitt's honeymoon suite, when Ray comes in, she sort of gives him a right hook. They just got into the moment. I think it was like the third take.
Can't do this to him.
See? It hurts me to screw around with people's feelings, doesn't it?
Not as much as this.
Oh!
Oh, God. I think I really hit him.
She saw Goodfellas, and you know, she thought, okay, this guy thinks he's tough. I'm gonna have a moment where I'm gonna take this guy down. I'm gonna become a legend.
Oh!
My character's a klutz in the movie.
She goes for it, and I think the first take, there's this kind of ouch.
I actually broke my finger.
She gets a little bracious. She's walking around, you know, like this.
I damaged Jennifer Love Hewitt in my insane quest for perfection.
A stunning work by Fyodor Turgenev entitled Form in Repose.
We called him Snappy. Snappy had to have a modular member that could snap off and be reattached and snap off again.
Oh my God!
You can't keep breaking a wank like that without really hurting the door frame.
We had to break probably about 17 penises.
I know I can satisfy you if you'll just let me try.
Piss off, Leo. Shut up, junior slut! What are you, a fucking cop? So I'm not that big on homicide!
Ray Liotta.
Get all the fish!
A very, very scary man.
Got it.
Who I would never say anything negative about.
What do you want, baby? I'll do anything.
Kiss my foot and apologize.
I'm sorry.
We tied up Ray Liotta.
Housekeeping, you want your bed turned down?
No! No, no! Lady!
You know, I've been cleaning this room for 3 weeks, and so far, no tip.
Fine, there's 20 bucks in my pants over there.
20? How about I sit on your kinky face for a while you think about that?
Ray actually wanted realism. They wanted the maid actually to sit on his face.
It's more like it.
But we couldn't allow that to happen because we'd have insurance issues.
I had various lines I wanted her to say.
I'll snap your kinky white ass with these towels. I'll snap your kinky.
She has a couple choice things to say.
I'll tickle you till you cry like a bitch in prison.
Which got a great laugh.
I mean, every time I'm tied to the bed, that seems to be the time they walk in the door.
Mister, I weigh 200 pounds. How about I sit on your kinky face for a while you think about that?
He's just gonna throw her out on her ass. I'm not worried.
Is that why you're melting down the remote? Cute.
As a director, you want to get as close to hurting your actors without hurting them.
Is that why you're melting down the remote? Cute.
Ray is fantastic because, you see he's got nerves of steel.
Cute.
Let me in. I have a surprise.
Oh. Oh, my.
Completely restored. Only $7,000 for a new Willie.
It was clearly written in the script that he was going to go head first into the penis of the statue, and that the penis was actually going to be lodged in his mouth. And I kept picturing that he would come up to me and say, "By the way, I'm not going to do that."
Uh-oh.
Came off great. That's a little pun there. Yeah, it did.
Always something in your mouth.
So even in death, he can't help but have a phallic thing in his mouth. Jennifer kind of grabbed an area that we really couldn't use on camera. Sometimes we used a stand-in dead body. It looks very disconcerting because he's playing dead in such a wonderful way, and then suddenly the legs come up and move. Jennifer, who is an unintentional physical comedian, got in the wrong position and literally got thrown into the trunk before the body did.
Wait. Wait.
Jennifer's not really coordinated yet with dead bodies. I think that'll come as she gets older.
Wait.
It's always fun to try to make something funny without getting caught acting in it.
I thought working on the movie was great. It was really, really fun.
Stinks, Mom! It stinks so bad! It's acidic!
The whole physical part of it is very important. That was a joy.
I loved it. I think some of the things I've done, there might have been some humor in there.
I have missed you so much.
Physical comedy, if it's motivated, always works.
So pretty and works so well. Let me light something else with it.